Okay, let's talk about one of the oldest industries on Earth, something we all deal with, literally every single day: garbage. But, this isn't going to be a story about smelly landfills and loud trucks. Nope. This is about a high-tech, high-finance revolution that's turning our trash into actual treasure. We are walking right into a new golden era of garbage.
So, I've got to ask you straight up. Are we living in the golden era of garbage? I know, it sounds a little nuts. For pretty much all of history, trash has just been a problem, right? A cost you had to manage. But that is changing, and believe me, it is changing fast.
Because right now, the world's waste is transforming from this costly liability into a genuine, high-tech, high-finance asset. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how this is all happening using some really fresh industry data and financial reports from 2025.
So, first up, let's look at the engine that's driving all this change: technology. And we're not just talking about bigger trucks here. We're talking about a full-blown AI-powered revolution that's turning ordinary trash bins into these data-crunching brains.
The heart of this revolution is the jump from manual to autonomous systems. Just take waste incineration, for example. Before AI, you had human operators who were constantly fiddling with controls, trying to manage these really inconsistent loads of garbage. Now, you've got systems like CSET's AICC. That stands for Automatic Intelligent Combustion Control, and it's basically providing autonomous driving for the entire facility.
And the impact? It's just staggering. This data from HDIN research really shows the sheer scale of the efficiency gains. Look at this. Manual intervention just plummets from more than once an hour to just once a day. Power consumption drops 6%, but the bottom line, that's what's truly transformative. A single facility can boost its annual gross profit by over $500,000. These are profits created directly by software.
And this isn't just some one-off case. Take a look at Gaoneng Environment. By partnering up with Alibaba Cloud, they've hit over 90% operational automation in their waste-to-energy plants. 90%. I mean, that just fundamentally rewrites the cost structure of the business.
This tech wave, it's hitting every single part of the business. You've got Republic Services optimizing truck routes on the fly with its RISE platform. You have Waste Connections using in-cab recorders to coach their drivers and slash accident rates by 13%. And then inside the sorting facilities, you have AI-powered robots doing the dirty work, which just massively boosts recycling efficiency. So it's not just one solution. It's a full-stack technological upgrade for the entire industry.
But here's the thing. What makes this tech so incredibly powerful? Well, it's being put to work inside companies that have built some of the most durable business moats you can find anywhere. Let's call them the fortresses of filth, designed to protect their profits.
So the first mode is something called vertical integration. It basically means controlling the entire journey of waste. Think about it. If you own the trucks that pick it up, the transfer stations where it gets sorted, and the landfills where it ends up, you capture a fee at every single step. You're not paying any outsiders.
And the North American giants? Oh, they are absolute masters of this game. Republic Services funnels waste through its own transfer stations straight into its own landfills. Waste Connections goes and dominates smaller, rural markets where, let's be honest, they are the only game in town. It's this closed loop that keeps all the revenue in-house and keeps all the competitors out.
Now, the second moat is maybe even more powerful: regulatory scarcity. You can't just wake up tomorrow and decide to build a new landfill or a hazardous waste incinerator. The permitting process is an absolute nightmare of regulations and not-in-my-backyard opposition. It can take years, sometimes even decades. This creates an incredible barrier to anyone trying to get in. And all that scarcity? It creates regional monopolies. A company like Clean Harbors has a footprint in hazardous waste incineration that's almost impossible for anyone to replicate. Over in China, companies like Zhongjin and Shanghai Environment lock in 25 or 30-year exclusive contracts with cities. This guarantees them a predictable, government-backed stream of waste and cash flow for decades to come. All right, so we've got high-tech operations, and they're protected by these massive business moats. Let's pull back the curtain and look at the financial scorecard. Let's see what this actually translates to on the balance sheet.
So the big question is, does this combination of technology and strategy actually pay off? Well, the answer is a resounding yes, and the data tells a really fascinating story.
Okay, this chart from HDIN Research really gets to the heart of the story. A North American giant like Waste Management generates over $420,000 in revenue per employee. And you have to ask, why? It's because they've engineered labor right out of the equation with automation and these massive, efficient facilities. This isn't just a small gap, it's a fundamental difference in how the business is run.
And this tale of two companies really shows how the market structure dictates your fortune. In North America, Clean Harbors, totally protected by its regulatory moat, had the pricing power to just cruise through economic uncertainty. Meanwhile, in China's oversupplied market, Dongjiang Environment saw prices totally collapse, which led to a staggering operating loss of over $172 million. Same industry, vastly different outcomes.
So what does all this mean for investors? Well, this chart says it all, really. That top line represents a peer group of these North American giants. And as you can plainly see, they have consistently delivered way better returns compared to the broader market over a 5-year period. Their combination of tech, vertical integration, and regulatory moats has created a uniquely defensive and profitable investment.
So where is all of this heading? What we're witnessing is a fundamental transformation. The industry is shedding its old identity, and it's embracing a completely new one, where trash isn't the end of the line anymore. It's the start of a whole new value chain.
This identity is shifting on 3 main fronts. First, these facilities are becoming green energy hubs. Second, the business model is moving from a linear take, make, dispose model to a circular one. And third, the strongest companies are now exporting their successful models all over the globe.
And this is totally redefining the industry's growth ceiling. It's no longer just about how much trash a city produces. Now, a company like CSET can sell green electricity and steam to nearby industrial parks. Dongjiang, even with its struggles, has the tech to pull 14 different metals, including precious ones like platinum and rhodium, right out of hazardous waste. And firms like Jungsin are now building and operating these massive facilities over in Central Asia.
There's a quote from HDIN research that I think perfectly sums up this new reality. Waste is now a continuously yielding asset. It's just not a liability to be buried anymore. It's a resource to be mined over and over again. Which brings us to a final thought. If this technological and financial revolution can transform something as mundane as garbage into a high-value asset, it really makes you wonder, what other hidden value is just lying dormant in the things we overlook and throw away every single day?